Minigame Mixer is an upcoming Minecraft map which allows you to choose between 2 minigames and mix them into a new one. I had 7 days to get as far as possible, and I'll tell you everything about it. But first, let's roll the intro. First off, why 7 days? When I started working on the map on a Saturday, I didn't expect to get very far. I built every Skywars based map that weekend. It was on Monday when I set the deadline. That next Saturday, my best friend and a direct inspiration of the map would join the world to see what I made. I really wanted to show him as much as possible, but since I wouldn't be able to create everything, I decided to focus on all Skywars based minigames. Let's roll back 6 months prior. CubeCraft was a very great server, and me and my friend, who is called Ramses in game, played on it a lot. During the summer of 2022, CubeCraft decided to spend more time on Bedrock Edition. As a result, many minigames were removed, like duels, along with some of the Skywars and Egg Wars maps. But they did add new items, which, in our opinion, took the fun out of the minigames. So I decided to create my own minigame map. It wasn't until less than a month ago that I had the idea of mixing the minigames while I was walking the dog with my mom. Back to last week, I made the map functional that Monday by adding the buttons to select a minigame combination, along with the data pack for the map and the start function. I made it so that you could start Spleef, Duels and Sniper Duels, all in a Skywars style. The Spleef map was very different from how it looks now. It basically was the Skywars map, but every block got replaced with snow blocks. This has been changed after the first couple of tests. The rest was almost entirely the same, aside from the fact that chests didn't have any loot yet. I could start testing that Monday immediately with one of my good friends, Samucroc. We played a lot of Sniper Duels since that was the most fun game. Teleportation to the map didn't really work yet, but that wasn't a very big problem. We had a lot of fun, and he stated that Spleef might be better if it was just one layer, so I changed that the next day. I really wasn't expecting to move so quickly. At the end of the next day, on Tuesday, I had every Skywars based map working. Spleef, Creeper Tennis, Skywars and Duels and Sniper Duels. I also made all of the loot tables working, though I didn't know if they were balanced. I did most of my work that day at school, so I did have some free time that evening. Now I just had to think about what to do for the rest of the week. That's when I remembered Ramses really liking duels. What better way to make the testing day fun than to actually make the duels maps? So that was my plan until testing the game with Vayman, another Datapacks creator. He came up with a lot of interesting suggestions and helped me fix the teleportation bug. One of his suggestions was to remove all double tall grass from the arena because it made it harder for players to hit each other. Another suggestion was to add different maps, which I actually already thought about. This would be an addition for future episodes. I also found that the middle chests from the Duels and Sniper Duels maps were a bit overpowered, so I made it so that you would only get 1 or 2 items from each chest. Vayman also had some suggestions for minigames, one in which water is used, one with explosions, a minigame called Piglin Wars and Lava Escape. I wrote these down as possible minigames for the future. Creeper Tennis was also not a very great game, so I had to fix that. For Thursday, I took a step back from my completed Duels games idea. I needed to balance the minigames that already existed and fix the bugs that were present. First off, I wanted to make the Creeper Tennis Skywars combination fun. It wasn't on Wednesday because the creepers kept falling off the islands and there wasn't anything we could do about it. I built new islands, bridges and barricades around the outer islands. I almost completely took out the parkour-like aspect from the minigame in order for the creepers to not constantly fall off, making the game 10 times better. My wrist started to hurt that day, so I really needed to avoid this map on my free Friday. I was going to play the map with 4 players that day, but 2 of them couldn't make it. I made some minor improvements, like how the chests work on the Duel Skywars and Sniper Duel Skywars combination, and I was ready to test that evening. I tested with Neorg, which was an absolute blast. Time flew and there were only minor problems with it. Changes she did suggest were to add more options for the amount of health and have a random chance to not spawn any chests. She also had a new idea for a minigame called Color Dance, in which you have to go to the right color to survive. Another funny idea she had was to have a 0.1% chance of all the blocks turning into sponge after she made a sponge tree earlier that evening. I really wanted to do something on Saturday before Ramses joined, so maybe I could still do something with duels. It is his favorite minigame after all. I enlarged the duels map area and had to extend the minigame area. I had an idea. Alright, this might be the worst mistake I've ever made, but we're gonna try to add some void to the world. MCA selector, resettable spleef. Going to move that. How do I forgot how this worked. Oh, delete selected chunks. So that we are going to get MET Explorer. And we'll change resettable spleef, world gen settings, overworld generator. I did make a backup, so everything should be fine if I just delete all of those. I'm scared. Should be fine. Yes. Seems to be working. Alright. Render distance is 16. Go stand right here. Then we'll go back. Extract this. World gen settings, dimensions, overall generator settings, layers. This whole thing. Please. Alright. New idea. We're going to do this. We're going to copy level.dat file. We're going to resettable spleef. Then we're going to, and I hope this works, do this, join the world again, hope for the best. Alright. Go to 32 chunks. Yes. Oh my goodness. It actually works. I am so proud of myself. Wow. I just made a huge arena. I was barely done when Ramses was ready. No time for duels. This was it. We played every game and we had a lot of fun. Ramses suggested removing the dirt from the Skywars chest. He had another idea for a minigame which we sometimes played on CubeCraft called Egg Wars. It's basically Bed Wars or Cake Wars but with the dragon egg. We made duels kinda work and we had a great time. Samucroc also wanted to join, so I invited him to the world. This was actually the first time I tested this map with 3 people. It gave us more of a perspective on how the map works with more than 2 players. We immediately realized that there should be some kind of spectating going on until the game is finished. All in all, we had a blast, no matter how weird the map became. I initially planned to not do anything that evening, but I eventually created all of the duels combinations. It wasn't even that hard. The longest part was to create the initial duels map, and after that I could just modify the map and the code. Before ending the video, I really wanted to test this map with 4 players in total. There was a high chance that Neorg and Samucroc would join me, but I needed 1 more player, and I got someone. Neorg is an old classmate of mine and he accepted my invitation. 4 players hasn't been done before in any of my testing of any map, so this was going to be epic. We tested everything and laughed a lot. Samucroc wanted a bridge in the duels creeper tennis combination and keep inventory should be off while the game was playing. Neorg suggested that the person who won should actually get a victory message. Having 4 players playing at the same time made the map feel complete. Every corner of the map was used, every island was filled. It was chaotic at some points, but definitely fun. 9 days have passed since the beginning of development. 27 suggestions have made it onto the board, which is now filled, 6 of which have been completed. Minigame Mixer is going to be a blast when everything is done. But I'm not very far. I have to make the map themes, the loot system, the spleef, creeper tennis and sniper duels combinations, along with the small things like the scoreboard, rounds and small changes to the existing map theme. I'll take a break from this project for a few weeks and focus on my Dutch YouTube channel. And if you're Dutch, check it out, because there will be some villagers. And if you're Dutch, check it out, because there will be some videos from testing. Oh, nee! If you can afford it, check out my Patron page, and you'll see me next time. Bye bye!